Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whoever you are and wherever you are. Today is 8th of November. I know it's been a very long time. I haven't done a video since my last short clips. I would like to apologize that. Been very busy in work. Fell sick. Personally, I felt ill, being restless sometimes and being very tired. And then, of course, after coming back from my trip from Japan, as I've said, been physically exhausted, and then add to the bonus, I have to do some major chores at home, laundry and etc., which because I've not been maintaining the house since when we went to holiday, everything piled up. So yeah, once you have responsibility, you have to handle it. So yeah, things been very chaotic for me. Work is one of the another chaos I have to do. Housework, house chores, you might say. That's another responsibility, and of course, um, personal health has been kind of deteriorated since I came back uh, from Japan. So yeah, so based on my last few almost like a week ago, I done a video since I came back last few weeks ago 2 weeks ago. I came back from Japan. These are the goods that I've got. Now there's a plus and there's a minus, so to say, on the banknotes that I've got. With a short compact timing, I wish I would have more time to explore, because Tokyo is kind of have numerous coin stores, coin shops, as they put it that way. They don't have specific stores which sells banknotes, so they go hand in hand with coins, but they are of course mostly specialized in coins. So now, sidetrack a little bit. uh, Last Tuesday, America had an election. Well, what can I say? Democrats won mostly. I would say it's a very naturally democratic state. It would be very surprised if it's an election on a state which is a hardcore Republican state being flipped to blue or to Democrat win would be a very huge jump. Winning from Zora Madani in New York City, being a mayor of New York City, yeah, a lot of people was thinking that New York's the capitalism of the mecca of capitalism of the world is now run by a socialist Muslim Indian descent American. Now, he was born in Africa. His parents, both of them, are from India, so his blood is Indian, but he's culturally should be African. He was born in Africa, migrated to America, and the devout Muslim. So yeah, it was very totally opposite of what majority New York demographics are. Expectation of a mayor background should be. Of course, the most feared people one would be the Jewish community. I think the biggest opposition that voted majority to Cuomo was a Jewish community. Staten Island is very typically a Republican island, I would say, in Staten Borough. So among all the boroughs, only Staten Island borough is the Republican position. They vote quite smartly, I would say. They actually not vote party line. They actually vote smartly. They voted for Cuomo because Cuomo was more. I would say he has signed a deal with the devil with Donald Trump. And Donald Trump has betrayed his own party's candidate, Sliwa, who is actually a Republican, and telling voters, especially Republican voters, to vote for Como rather than Sliwa. That is really, really bad idea, I would say, to what happened that. Beyond the New York election, it will be a very surprise how he's going to run for the next 4 years in New York City. But it should be great. I would say it's a rebalance in New York from a very ultra benefited capitalist, millionaires, billionaires benefited New York's city, like Donald Trump and etc. The working class and the poor class has been very, very struggling. They struggle a lot, and having a new fresh mayor that actually really focus on the working class, especially providing subsidized healthcare if they can in New York City level, free buses, or at least really, really subsidized bus fare, would be better, or like have water bill probably will be reduced, or the best one I would say that the people really, really want is the freeze or the reduction or cap of the rent, because rent has been skyrocketing in New York City. It's natural that it skyrocket, but we do need a responsible capitalist, a moral capitalist is really needed in New York City to be symbiotically working alongside with Mandani's administration, being people now putting it, labeling him as a socialist, a communist, some would say, but actually he can't be communist because America has a law that still has the red peril law or anti-communist. If you are associated with a communist or something like that, I think you will automatically be imprisoned, if I'm not mistaken. There are such laws in time during Cold War. I don't know if it still exists or has been suspended after the Cold War. Who knows? But America, very highly unlikely you would promote or associate yourself as a communist, due to the cultural and growing up in America, you will brainwash that any form of idea of the left wing or like a communist ideas or socialist ideas are how do I say anti-Christian, so we say, and against freedom and liberty and so forth, blah blah blah. But anyway, this is the point where history repeat itself. In Europe, many capitalist rich aristocrat owns the majority of the land, owns the factory, where the working class working in a factory, working in a farm, don't own anything, and they have to pay and live in a very terrible condition during the early 19th century. That's where the epochs of the communist ideas grew out from. It seems to me, I would say, America needs to wake up and learn the past history. Why do people suddenly such really revive socialist idea or really embracing socialism on their own free will? Because of the condition of the environment, economic condition. If you look back in history, especially European time, there was a liberal revolution in the mid 19th century. By the time we reached the late 19th century and entering into the 20th century, communism rise because the vast majority, when the European world became industrialized, factory owners, the bosses, the capitalists, the railway owners, the the moguls for the resources like oil and so forth, leaving the working class, the miners, the factory workers to nothing or bare minimum, that which gives that condition that why should I live in such a squatter when I work so hard, and the people who gets all the money living in luxury are those capitalist pigs up in the pedestal. Well, America is right now in New York is repeating the same scenario, and that is how the public is viewed. It is not that they interested and to become a communist or socialist. It is the condition that has made them into that situation, and socialist or communist ideas will tend to breed in this environment because it does focus on the welfare of the working class. So history again repeat itself in the 21st century. Same problem, same situation, same problem. I would say. Actually, I want to say a profanity, but I try not to in YouTube. So yeah, that is the 2025 U.S. election. A lot of the governors, lieutenant governor of the state run. Virginia State Assembly was a full election, so a lot of them has switched. Huge majority swung to the Democrats, making genuinely you can say it is a blue wave. Now, of course, the Republican side would say this is not a blue wave because naturally these states that are having election last Tuesday are natural supporters to the Democrats. So it's naturally they will win big. Well, if they were in Montana or they're in Nebraska or they're in Oklahoma or Texas would be difficult. Maybe Florida, yeah, or South Carolina having a election. You can bet they will say that they will win. The Republicans will win. I would think, yeah, probably yes. But the most important in the statistic where we want to measure the amount of voters, the important is how much they swung from, swing from the Republican side support to the Democrat. How big is the swing? If it's a small margin swing, then yeah, pretty much Republican still has a good stand in 2026. But most of the news reported that swung more than double digit, like 15%, 17%, 20%. Those kind of huge swings towards the Democrats, if it's translate across the national board of the votes count nationally, the Republicans will collapse. They will lose the government position. It will become a minority government or the opposition, and some most countries would say, and the president will be in dead heat, being a lame duck president, because you don't have the Senate, you don't have the Congress, Parliament. I use Parliament because my country follow the British system. So their Congress chamber, the Senate chamber, will be run by the Democrats if that is the swing prediction. So there are 360 days or less than that, few days left, 1 year exact, almost less than 1 year for the Republicans to fix themselves and to get the votes. So the next year's first Tuesday of November 2026 is the midterm election, one of the important part of election. Donald Trump really need to buck up and try to suck up the voters to convince the voters to vote for Republican. What he needs to do is to reduce the price, the cost of living in America. That's it. Immigration is secondary actually. To me, I believe if everybody got job, if everyone has a job, everybody can afford to pay for the bill, everyone can afford to buy goods, then there will be no crime. That is a natural state of the society. Why would the society rob? Why would they steal? Why would they commit crime? Because they are deprived from economically. They are not able to buy goods to survive. They are not able to pay rent to survive. So that is a major thing I would say Donald Trump really need to focus on. If he needs to put in, if he has a limitation of energy and resources at this point of time, he needs to buck up on economic. Simple. If everyone has a job, everyone has a prospect to get high income, you can bet my dime Republicans will win the next year's election. But how long would it take? We do not know. I'm not an economist. I'm not American. I don't know how it goes. But political talk, I think next year, if everything still remains status quo, economically deprived, you will see Republicans will lose number of seats. But we do not know whether they'll lose the Senate. But if the Democrats are pushing really hard on it and Donald Trump is making it really bad, yeah, pretty much they will lose. Especially like places I would bet on is Texas, Alaska, Iowa, Nebraska. I'm not too sure Oklahoma will, but Ohio probably, maybe. But the state that guarantee they are in a really battle state is like North Carolina, and Maine would be a very very battleground for between Democrats and Republicans for the Senate seats. Again, each party wishes to grab 51 seats to guarantee their vote. So yeah, that's about extent of the politics and my trips. Well, it was really great. I like to talk about that. It was very compact, very jammed up. I didn't have enough time, and it was quite rainy and windy time, so it was the weather was not really forgiving, I would say, or very nice weather. Um, in a sense that I've at least in Tokyo I went to four shops. I went to four different shops, and three out of four shops I managed to get something, which is right here. I managed to get something. One out of four, there's one shop, probably because of language barrier. Uh, but luckily, that shop is the most touristy spot, so the prices were really really exorbitant price tags. He has all the banknotes, yeah, but those banknotes are pretty old, and they're really expensive. The way that they're selling it is was very expensive, but location wise I pretty much understand it is in a tourist area. So they're paying a quite a premium price to have their store there. Although they're not targeting foreigners, I would say probably still local, because you don't see many foreigners coming to Japan looking for old banknotes, old coins, or old stamp. But that shop, the lady, that I didn't buy anything from that shop, is, I think her shop is more specified on stamps, because she has a lot of variety of stamps collection in the shop rather than banknotes. And when I asked her about the banknotes, what do they have? Of course, my Japanese is really 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 broken. I can only speak really like caveman language, like money, this, how much. In the sense, if you speak English, really broken English, I speak a really broken Japanese. At least they kind of understand what I'm looking for, but probably because the language was not smooth, she was like have the look like don't understand. And yeah, she was just pointing at whatever you see at the shop, is what they have. So normally if you are selling numismatic shops, you don't display all your items just like that and say that is all your item. Mostly you'll be filing it, and most of the files inside are the valuable ones, or those repeated common ones, or so forth. It was sheer luck, uh, of course, but that shop I was pretty unlucky because I believe there was supposed to be her husband. Maybe her husband would know about coins and banknotes, but I believe she was really good at stamps because she was working on the stamps collections, especially updating a new stamps. I noticed when she was rummaging through her work. So that's the only shop I didn't buy anything. The rest of the other shops was wherever I got is here. So the three other shops that I went, one of it is in the Ginza. It's the shop is called the Ginza Coin Shops. Quite premium location, I would say, but it is the only shop internationally I would know. They have online auction bidding. It's called Ginza Coin. So I haven't bought anything from the auction because the transaction payment was a bit worrisome for me, because they don't accept credit card payments. They only accept wire transfer. And then once you've done the wire transfer, if they don't understand English, that was a very big worry. So I never bought anything online from them yet. But I went to their shops, and then pretty much the things that I've asked for, even in Japan, I was really surprised. All the three shops that I went, okay, I thought it would be very piece of cake. I can fill up those things that I don't have. I was not able to find, or it was ridiculously expensive in eBay. I was hoping I go to Japan, I can rummage through and find it, but really surprised. All three of the shops, the things that I'm looking for was really difficult. They told me it was very difficult to find a good condition. They were actually helping me find a really good condition, like a uncirculated one. This is the only one that I have, a little bit modern, but yeah, this is written in Japanese. It's actually no, it's translated is uncirculated. This is the only note that I bought is uncirculated. This one is because the printing name is Koku. Okay, the third printing change of the name, and it's green color double prefix. So this is what and it's only printed in 2003. They only issued 1 year. Then in next 2004 they changed a new design into type D. So I managed to get that one to fill up my collection. In eBay it's selling quite very expensive. So 5,000 yen, that's about what 100 more, no more than 150 ringgit. So it's worth it, because most of the time I see eBay, they're actually selling around 200 to 250, or some of them at 300 ringgit. So it was worth the money, worth the price to 5,000 yen. Of course, from the face value, it's 5 times the banknote. So some of them they have, some of them they don't, and all three had the same thing. They tell me the things that I'm looking for was difficult, and they were roaming through their collection really deep into their storage, looking through their albums, helping me up, and yeah, this is not what I managed to find. So eventually, they were. Of course, I brought my book just in case that I don't know what I'm talking about. At least I can point the banknote that I'm looking for and what type I'm looking for. So I already tick already those that I bought in Japan, but they were quite really interested because they noticed that I actually tick off things that I've already have. So they actually saw me really an avid collector for banknotes. Just like something like, to them, they never seen a foreigner really collect Japanese banknotes avidly, as serious like I am, as like so focused. They were really surprised, and they were really interested to help me to complete my collection. So they tried their really best to help me find the collection, and yeah, really helpful. So before I go through each of those banknotes, I'll just running through here to say what is missing in my collection. Now, for type E 1000 yen, I'm actually missing the blue color one, or naval blue serial number, single prefix. This one, among all those 3 shops that I went, they said they don't have it. They have a black one, they have a brown one, but not a blue one, single prefix. They don't have it. So it was really disappointing. It was one of the latest notes. I was expecting a modern latest note like this, just printed in 2004 until last year. And to hear that, they don't have it. Really shame. So this note, I'm still looking for it. 1000 yen, naval blue, single prefix. I'm still looking for this one. It's missing in my collection. And now for the 5,000 yen, is piece for the 5,000 yen is a piece of cake. Is the was considered as very lucky actually, because among the change, I was thinking that the change came back, they still use this banknote. So, and it's a brown serial number with 2 prefix, so which is the last print out of the note, should be the most circulated out there in the public. So I was thinking that this 5,000 was a piece of cake to acquire. Little do I know, since during my journey, every time I changed with the cashier, they returned me with a new 5,000 yen. Only one time I got this note for this type, this series, type E. The other one, the latest new type one, is all the while I get this one as the change. So it was really lucky that the first day I went to Japan, I spent my first 10,000 yen. I got this one as the change. Now it's not uncirculated, of course, but yeah, at least I can fill up in my collection and it's completed. I have all the 4 types of the note. Now, even that, when I say there are 4 types of notes, because they have double prefix and single prefix, the owners of the shop, all the 3 shops that I've scurried through, they were really impressed that I actually focus on the single prefix and double prefix. Really catch their eye on me that I am such a advent collector. They're really impressed. Basically, the conversation goes that they are really impressed that as a foreigner, non-Japanese national, collecting Japanese banknote really in detail. Every single variation you are collecting, and then he noticed that I take one or and here they were really impressed, and I think they felt really proud. There's a foreigner collecting banknotes, and to me that translates really well for me. It's the same thing for me. I'm really proud if somebody collects Malaysian banknote avidly and is not Malaysian. That makes me really proud to know that Malaysian banknotes are worthy and interested by non-Malaysians. It's the same thing and vice versa. So yeah, so the 5,000 yen I have completed the set. 10,000 yen also I've completed the set. I finally got the single prefix brown, so I have cleared this series except for the 1,000 yen. On to this one, the 2,000 yen, I've already got them already, so I just skip them. For this one, yep, I've already got all the notes. That's right, I got all of the collection completed. The Okurasho for black series, single prefix, double prefix. A blue one, single prefix, double prefix. The green one, single and double. The brown one, single and double, and also the green one, single and double. And then the Koku to Zaimusho, I have the green color one, double prefix, and the latest one in my collection. This one is filled up here, Koku which is only printed in 2003. So I've got this one in Japan and it's already fulfilled, completed. 5,000 I've already completed. 10,000 sadly is still missing, is the Okurasho single prefix brown. That is the only one that's missing in my collection, and all three of them, they don't have this specific one that I'm looking for. Brown, they have black, but they don't have brown. And Okurasho is pretty common because the printing number is quite large in number, and they have really good ones. But they don't have a single prefix brown color for Okurasho of type D. So I'm still looking for this one, type D, for a single prefix. Now the rest of it, as all those already a long time ago completed the set, so when I had a conversation with them, they were really impressed that I have completed this, and all this I've already completed. So I went a bit older. I already completed all this. I completed all this. Yeah. So the other one that is a really big obstacle one is this one, the 10 yen, for the 4th series for Wake. The 4th series for Wake. This one I only able to buy in Malaysia here. The first one, which is just a small prefix block number, which is from 01 to 69, and there's no stamp. There's no what's that, the stamp for it, the so-called revaluation of, I always call it revalue, revalue stamp. After the Second World War, they don't have enough money to print, so they use the old banknote and then they revalidate with a stamp with its value of 10 yen, making it a new note or valid note. So there are two types. One is this block number 1 to 69, and the other one is 70 to 94. The 70 to 94 is notoriously expensive and very difficult to get, so I was not able to find here. eBay, there is selling it. Bloody hell, 600 ringgit. That's selling at a really expensive, but of course the condition is good, no doubt about it. But looking at the price, yeah, it matches. I would say it matches the price of the book. So yeah, but the expensive one, like the kicker one, is always the one with the stamp, which is even rarer because the stamp production, they only issue one or less than 2 years before Japan will rebuild and they start manufacturing new banknotes, rendering the stamp obsolete or rendered useless. So that's why their price is really high, because they are limited numbers and they're expensive. These three, the bottom one is the one I don't have, but now after going through Japan, going through the shops, I've got them right here. Really happy that I've got all the three right here. The two with the stamps, with the block number, and the one with the high block number. So I was really happy that. Now, even for them, it was very difficult to get it. They were looking through the collection and it was really disappointed that they're not able to find a better condition. And I told them it's okay, I'll get what you have because I need it for my collection. So they just give it me. Some of them they actually given some discount price. So rarely you'll find Japanese you can haggle with them and they give you a cheaper price. Really rare they'll haggle, especially established shops. Other than that, the 5 yen, 10 yen is the one that I also found, another rare piece. Now, among all of them, they have told me roughly in English I could understand. They told me the red blocks, even in Japan, the red block type, the 10 yen and the 5 yen are virtually very difficult to find compared to this one. the number of these notes are even smaller, especially with the stamp on, with the revalidation stamp or revalue stamp on. They are much more difficult to find, especially the one with uncirculated. They told me it's actually worth than more than this value on the book. They're virtually really difficult, they say. And among all, I actually do believe, because I managed to I got this one when I was 10 years ago. I didn't realize this was very difficult to find, because I found this one very easily in Kuala Lumpur red block 10 years ago. Actually, more than 10 years ago I got this when I was still in high school, actually secondary school. But the stamp one is the one very difficult, and I went to Japan and got it. I got that, it's right, this one, which I'll later go in detail that. I've got it, and yeah, all the shops don't have, except one shop actually has that note, and it was really bad condition, I would say, but all three of them actually agreed one thing independently, and asked them. They said this is very difficult to find, really difficult to find, especially with the stamp, 10 yen. The 5 yen is even ridiculous to find, but anyway, I got this one too, much long ago. So the rest I have accumulated, most of that I find with the stamp one. I try and search for the one with the stamps. I saw one is this one, the 1000 yen. I actually skipped because I have insufficient funds. They're selling around 180,000 yen. The condition wise was very fine to fine condition, actually in between the condition, so it was really in the ballpark of the price. But I don't have that kind of capacity of money unless I don't buy one of all these and just get this one. So in my preview on my condition of my finance and so forth, I decided to abandon this one for now, and probably the next trip I'm going back to Japan, hopefully I have enough money just to get this one, because the rest of it I've already completed. So probably I'll put this one as my top priority, must get in my next trip, unless there is someone selling in the auction and I can win it much more cheaper than the value of the book, or I can get it from eBay even cheaper, or anywhere else I can buy it even cheaper before the trip comes, before my next trip to Japan. So yeah, so there you have it. So I have this already with the stamps. I also have this one. So practically the modern notes I've already collected vast majority of them. The next target within a feasible capacity for me, other than the modern notes that I just mentioned, that one, those are the one I will continuously find. The next probably focus I will be with this one if I'm going to the trip in Japan, looking for this note in any kind of condition. Probably I'll get somewhere fine or very fine, nothing extremely fine or uncirculated condition, because those are like 500,000 yen costs. And then probably I will go and look for these notes during the Taisho era, 50 cent, 20 cent, and 10 cent, because they are following the year. I have each of one of them already. So my next focus is getting the variations. I've got the Taisho year 10, I got the Taisho here year 7, and this one Taisho year 10. Now, so the next focus, probably my next trip, if I could not get the 1000 yen one, I'd probably focus on this, getting this all this year. Taisho 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 for the 50 cent. And then the 20 cent, the Taisho year 6 and 8. And 10 cent, Taisho year 6, 7, 8, and 9. Again, I'll start rock bottom, like very fine or fine condition, because the price is quite reasonable if you look at it. It's around 1,000, so each of them is probably roughly around 30-35 ringgit kind of value. You know, we're not talking, if I can get an uncirculated condition, well, forget about brilliant uncirculated. These are brilliant uncirculated, really pristine, Most of them you'll probably find in this condition, in this range here, so don't ignore this one. Perfect, this one. So under this one they have like there are 30,000 yen, they're all around a 280 ringgit price range and above. So another spectacular note I found, condition wise, looks really good enough for collection. I got this one in my collection. I went to Japan. This was not my intentional target, but I found the price really good price, so I bought it. I would say it's very fine condition, so it's 16,000 yen. I got it for 10,000 yen, so it was a big discount for me, I would say. The other one that I wanted to get is actually this 5 yen, but the 5 yen one, if you compare those prices, you see the above and the below for a low grade condition like the very fine and extremely fine, the price is almost like I would say 50% more than the one. So those 5 yen, I saw the shop, they have this note, but the price was not reasonable. They're much higher than this conditions of the fine and the very fine condition. So I was thinking, you know what, I'll leave that in the future. So probably in my next trip I'll be focusing on this, the 50, 20 and the 10-cent Taisho era. And probably if I have money, have finance, proper finance, I'll probably get the 1,000 yen once and for all. And maybe then I'll go reverse, actually completing this 5 yen and then going through all the big juggernauts. Now on this page onward, they're all big juggernauts. Look at the price. All these value are extremely high. Even for the poor condition, they are really expensive. Okay, really expensive. These are the these are the ones and the earlier notes are much difficult to find, and then if you are able to find, they're really expensive. So I don't think I have the capacity to actually get this note and with my current expense. This one probably I could get this one. Probably I could get this one 1 yen with the kanji serial number or the Chinese serial number rather than using Arabic number. I probably would get this one, but the rest one and so forth. In Japanese I would say muri desu. Muri. Difficult. So look at the price and it's just, you see, unknown. If you can see that it's written here, unknown values, because this type of notes you really don't find it in the market today. Mostly is the people have this was passed down with family, rich family, very powerful family. It was 100 yen in those days in 1891 is seriously expensive, really big note. So this type of notes, even this one is like, holy cow, 700,000, 1 million, 1.5 million yen, uncirculated condition. Holy shit, 3 million yen. Forget about brilliant uncirculated. That is really unknown. So beyond that, notes from here onward, they are really expensive, really difficult to find. But I actually really like this one. These are the notes that I really like. One of the very first notes, the old national bank notes from Japan, the Japanese one. These are the notes that I really love to have in my possession. But as you can see, the prices, the cheapest one, like for the 10 yen one, start at 5 million yen, and then the one with the 5 yen about 1 million yen, and then the other one, the 2 yen, starts at 500,000, half a million, and 250,000 yen for the lowest grade, or the lowest conditions. So yeah, these are the notes that I really want to have in my collection one day, probably not. So yeah, so that is all from the book that I have used for my exploration. Let's get into the notes. Yeah, I know this is already 45 minutes, so I'm going to go through really quick on my collection. So yeah, so most of my notes I got kind of fulfilled. This two is come from the Ginza coin, and this one's coming from one of the shops in Nakano Broadway. There's actually one shop at level 2. It's the only shop that actually sells numismatic. You can't miss it. A lot of the Nanako Broadway sells mangas, so vintage old mangas. If you're looking for specifically like Astro Boy, Ultraman during the times of the Showa era's animation production at that time, really old ones, vintage, I would say, Nakano is the best place to find, rather than a modern modern animation products. So yeah, Mandarake is there. So they are big. They're almost half of the area belongs to them. So you can explore all you like there, and they're very specific. Each store has a specific genre or collections that you can have there. So yeah, so I've managed to got one from them actually. So the and Nakano Broadway. So got one this. I believe it's not from Nakano. Oh yeah, this yellow one is from Asakusa, one of the underground Showa era shopping mall underground. It's one of the oldest. It's a really dirty area, but it's owned by an old man. Yeah, I actually got it from him. The white one, like this three, I got it from Ginza Coin, which is at Ginza. The one without nips one, and the one with this and this, yeah, the white color and that one, it came from another shop actually. Yeah, now I remember where I got them. Yeah, so these three are from the Ginza. So let's, rather than talking about the shops, let's talk about the collection. So this one I've got is the with the stamp on it. This is the stamp, revalidation stamp, block number 6. So this is one of the low number block, and then this is the high number block, which is 70 to and towards 90, which is very small amount with the stamp. Now why do they be considered two different variation? Because if you look closely, the print, the colors are different. The printing colors are actually different. This one has the background much more greener. This background has much more, a little bit more pinkish, a little bit more purple, or murasaki, a bit more purple. The bottom you might be able to see much clearer. Yeah, right here. See the different colors here? So it's considered another variation. Of course, it's a continuation of the block number. They started to change from green to purple at the block number 70, where the purple starts. That is why in the Japanese catalog book they consider as two different variation, and two different variation. The stamp does not discriminate between the block number, so you have the block number for both of them. So that's why you have two validation stamps here. Each of them, this one was 9,000 yen, this was 10,000 yen. This is much more cheaper than this one because the quantity of the small block number, or with the green color, the background, has a larger quantity than this one. That's why the price is much higher. The other one is without validation. You can see it's same color as purple. Okay, 77, same block. I was very lucky I got the same block number, but one with the stamp and one without the stamp. So yeah. Condition wise, this is much better than this. That's why this is only 5,800 yen, and this is around 10,000 yen. Of course, different shop. Of course, these two are different shops. Probably they grade it differently and they price it differently. But to me, all three of these, I've got the collection completed. So that's one side. The other one is the 100 yen. Now the 100 yen is, this one is much more difficult to find, but I managed to find it in Japan. Is this type Shotoku in 1949, which is a smaller print set. This type of design and note is a very small set of numbers. and and it is really difficult to find a good price for this 100 yen note with the stamp, revalidation stamp or revalue stamp. I got it for 8,000 yen. Not too expensive and not too cheap, I would say. It's just right for its condition and rarity. And if I see this in eBay, they are probably selling around 500 to 800 ringgit. I've got this for 8,000 yen, which is really honestly is less than 100, less than the 280 ringgit. So really good price when you go over there and manage to find a note that you wanted in your collection, need it in the collection. The price looks very well. Okay, some of you might disagree that the price is expensive and so forth, blah blah blah, but yeah, I managed to negotiate. Normally Japanese don't like to lower down price what it is given, but if you buy in huge number, large quantities, they might give you a gesture to lower down their profit margin. So of course, all these banknotes I buy, there are no tax free. Okay, you don't buy like more than a certain amount of more than 5,000 yen. Oh, 5,500 yen. Oh, I'm going to get a tax free. All these products, you have no tax free. Okay, no tax free. You buy it as it is, as it is. So if you can haggle the price down, if you get more than 10% discount, consider it as a tax free. Okay, consider it as a tax free if you are able to haggle down more than 10%, and roughly 2 out of 3 shops are able to haggle down more than 10%, and only one shop, which is Ginza Coin, I'm not able to haggle down more than 10%. Roughly, I think 3%, 3 to 5%, I was able to haggle down. But anyway, it is goodwill discount, so I really appreciate that. They don't need to, but they're willing to because of the story I just told you. They saw my book, they saw my collection that I have ticked those I have, so they know that I really appreciate Japanese notes, that I'm an avid collector. They're really willing to help me fulfill my collection. So I probably, with my narrative story, they actually want to help me. So yeah, it's one of the great things. The other one is this is a Showa year 19, if I'm not mistaken. Another different kind of print. This is much earlier than that one. Much earlier one. And this print is also quite a lot. But yet, I see this more often in eBay. That's why the price is only 5,500 yen compared to that one, 8,000 yen. And the condition wise, this is much better than that one, actually. Because of it, roughly has a lot of fold. This one is just nicked by glue or something like that. But yeah, anyway, this note's really nice. 5,500 yen, he gave me a discount 500 yen, so it was 5,000 yen with the stamp on it. Or the revaluation stamp, 100 yen. So it's one of my missing in my collection. I'm happy and proud to actually add this in my collection. All the stamps are the one that really difficult to find in Malaysia, because this type of stamp, revalue stamps, they are mostly in Japan, and going to the source of the country where they use this note in one time in history, and it's a way of finding through the huge garage sale in that country. Now the other one I've got is this one. Yeah, this is the red block, which they told me, all three of them advertly told me the red block is the rare one and very difficult to find. They actually had the red block, a few of them in good condition, but it's the one without the stamp. And the one I told them is I have this one without the stamp. I'm looking for a stamp, and they're roaming through their collection, their files, their folders, their filing cabinets. The old man was looking through the filing cabinets and so forth. Managed that only one shop has the one with the stamp, revaluation stamp, and that shop actually is the one at Nakano Broadway. And if you look closely, you can see there's a huge phone line here. This is not printing error. It's, I think something has been stuck there for a long time, and it creates this hideous bolded line. I was just asking him if he has more. I would pick another note that is flat nicely than this one, but sadly there's only one. I recall that he sold me this one. He sold me this one for 1,500 yen. Because the disappointment of this one, he actually do help me and sold me a really good price. The Nakano store actually sold me a really cheap price. His profit margin was really small, and I really like him. And he's the only shop among all the four shops, he actually spoke English well. Even the Ginza one that actually do online bidding internationally, they don't speak English very well. But this guy at Nakano Broadway one, he spoke quite well English, understandable, not too broken, still broken, but able to fulfill the basic words and so forth. So he was I had a conversation with him, really nice. And hopefully, if I going back to Japan, buy or not buying, I will go back to his shop just to visit him again. Yeah, so yeah, this is the one that is really difficult to find among all of them. They say this is the very difficult one with the revalidation stamp, red block. They say this is a very difficult one, but I finally at least got one, and probably hopefully one day I'll get a better condition. Even eBay don't have this one, the red block with a stamp. Even in eBay, I haven't found any of it selling in eBay. Now the other one I've got, a little bit more than one, is this one. Now this is, I felt overpaid. 1,000 yen. I paid 5,000, 5 times the value of the face value. That's how much you get if it's a condition is uncirculated condition. So I just like already explained, the one I bought is because it's this one is the National Printing Bureau printing. Printing engraving, and it is in green color. So this is the one that is missing my collection, so it is fulfilled my collection's missing part. That is one reason why I bought it, and it's the only one. Yes, he has only one. He has all brown and black and is indifferent in Okurasho. He doesn't have the Koku one like this one. Actually, the Koku one much more difficult because they only print 1 year. For the use in 2003, before they moved to 2004, they changed the design and print a new series, new type actually, to type E. Okay, so consider this is one of the rare ones among all the modern notes. So fulfilled my mission, to complete my mission there. This one is the most unexpected one I bought. It was not supposed to, but look at the condition. Really beautiful condition for the price, 10,000 yen. Okay, for the price of this note, the color, the texture, it's really nice, beautiful. Probably somebody have flattened it, that's why it looks really flat. Because normally if you see huge coarse lining and is really flat, it's quite evident somebody has flattened it to make it more presentable. Normally it will have groove lines and bounce out like this one. This is not flattened, so you have the concave and convex of the note coming in and out. This one doesn't. This is flat. Normally when you see the fold lines, you will see the back will have a little convex and concave, like a really unevenness. This is really flat. So I think this is a bit flattened it, which of course in the professional collection price devalue. Okay, but finding this type of note, this is the type 9B, Taisho year 4, or in Anglo-Saxon year is 1915. This is this 10 yen note actually ties to gold standard. So that is why they have written here, Nippon Ginko promised to pay the bearer on demand 10 yen in gold. So it paid in gold. Really nice. I like the design, really beautiful. The floral design is really nice. For the price of 10,000 yen, I think it's worth the money to buy at that point of time as a collection. So I was really happy to get it. Now, the other notes that I've got, as I just said, it's just those basic ones. This one I got it from exchange money. I don't know whether I will keep it or spend it in the next trip, but yeah, it's blue color but double prefix. I'm looking for a single prefix blue, but I already got this one in my collection, so I really just gonna run it through. So the will add on my collection is the brown prefix, the double prefix brown, 5,000 yen. Only one time I got this note. The rest I got is the new modern note, 5,000 yen. So consider this really lucky. It's in my collection. And yeah, and the one I bought from Nakano, this one I bought it from Nakano, is the brown prefix, E series single prefix. As you can see, single brown prefix. Guess how much he sold me? He sold to me for 10,500 yen. That's right, I just need to pay an extra 500 yen to him just to get this note. That's just like probably 15 ringgit or less extra from the face value. So I was really happy. And when he said that 10,500 yen, in 2 seconds I just said, I'll get it, I'll take it. The note is superb. There is no fold line in the middle. Normally this type of manila type of paper that the Japanese use for their banknote, once it's fold, that fold line is there forever. No matter how, you cannot remove it. To pristine it back is really impossible. The only problem is they have that in this corner. This is fold. You see, once it's fold and you try to flatten it, that line is forever be there. It's really ugly. And this one is considered, I would say this is a EF, I would say. But to him, he was saying like it's not uncirculated, it's about uncirculated, as he would say. But for the price of 10,500 yen, an extra 500 yen, I get it in a heartbeat. This was the most happiest moment to get that price. So let's check back my collection here. I'll probably just go through the modern ones rather than the older ones. So here we are. Single prefix blue, double prefix blue, single prefix blue. Black, and then this is blue, and then this is blue, brown, green, okurasho, green double okurasho, double prefix for koku, and koku. So yeah, this actually fulfilled my collection for having this is zaimusho, a double prefix green. I just fulfilled this, so I have completed the set here. The 5,000 I have completed, so let's skip ahead. Yeah, this is the one I'm missing. One spot here missing is this type, which is brown single prefix, which I missed. I already got the brown color for the Zaimyusho and the Okurasho, and also the Koku, which is the Koku one as National Printing Bureau is the one that's printed only 1 year, which is difficult to get, but I've got it in a very good condition. Yeah, I've got two actually. Then the 1000 yen, the modern one, the black, and then the brown. Again, there we are. I'm missing. Yeah, I have a very good condition for the blue, but I don't have the single prefix for the blue. So probably I won't put. Probably this one I won't be putting here. I've already got two better condition than this one. I'm probably going to keep this as for the currency usage in Japan the next trip. 5,000 yen, I've got them all already, plus that one in. I've completed. As you can see, this is the brown single prefix. So now I got a brown two double prefix, fulfill the 4 type of variation. And of course the 10,000 yen, finally I'm able to put right here in this middle, all 4 of them complete set. Yeah. And of course the modern ones, as you can see today in Japan, they're using this note. And yeah, pretty much that's it. So that is all for today, my collection about my update of my Japan trip. Other than that, I actually bought some I bought 2 Pokemon cards. I do like Pokemon cards as a collection because I do used to play them and try to revive my sense of trading card collection intention for probably investment kind of thing. So I bought the one that is the very difficult to find, but they are considered a really bad condition. This one, the Shibuya one, Pokemon Center, opening of Pokemon Center, there's a damage right here, the nick on the surface, the hollow here, and then here's a nick here. Somebody have actually damaged this part. You can see there, corner, and then the other one you see under the light. There's a spot here. Now beyond than that, those are all the micro checks, which I'm really not good at. I bought this one for only 9,000. If you bought the one with the grade 9 or 10, they're worth like probably around 600 to 900 ringgit. So I bought for 9,000 yen, which is pretty much less than 240 ringgit. Also, the other one that I really wanted to buy, which I actually got it, is the Pikachu McDonald series. Now, as I told you, there's a fiasco happening there. It was launched this year. It was supposed to be a 3-day event. They only launched 1 day an event, and they cancel out. After the first day, they canceled because across the entire McDonald's store, people were buying the Happy Meal set, which means you buy one Happy Meal set, you get one booster pack. And a lot of the food that people bought actually just throw. It's a lot of wastage. And Japanese culture, they don't like wastage. Nothing's supposed to waste. And that is the horrific news reported. The wastage was high just because they wanted the Pokemon cards. So they buy a lot of those Happy Meals so they can get a lot of the booster pack. Each booster pack has one card of Pikachu and one random card of the basic Pokemons. This is the most sought after, and you look at the price, 4,580 yen plus tax, 10% tax if I'm not mistaken, 10 or 15%. Yeah, they were actually launched on the 25th of October. On the 16th of October they put up this in display, and I already snatched it in the on the 17th. So I got this on 1 day in display and I just bought it. Among all the one that I found, this is the cheapest one, but I'm not a really expert compared to banknotes. I'm not really expert in looking and grading this. I cannot see the difference between the 10, 9.5 and 9 for the grading of the bank on the card. Sorry, I really can't see. Compare banknotes, I know how to see it. I have the experience. I can at least judge banknotes much better on the condition. This one, on the other hand, I can't see. Look at it, probably I will a bit more humble myself because they're selling it really cheap. There must be a flaw in this card for it to sell in this. If not, they will have sent it for grading and get it 10 out of 10, and they will be selling it for almost selling it for like 10 to 20,000 yen for the graded ones. I saw one in Akihabara shop. They actually sell one with a graded ready one. They're selling it really expensive, and I avoided buying it because at that moment when I was looking for this note, my money was already in the low capacity because most of it I spent it right here already. So yeah, I managed to find the Pikachu that I wanted, the McDonald one, which is the very difficult to find. For the 3-day event, they only launched 1 day, so the remaining one I do not know whether they resell it secretly to the card collectors by the McDonald enterprise, or they actually burn it or destroy it or whatever, or they keep it in the store as an inventory. But at this moment of time, this is a hype. I would say it's a hype because each pack actually has one Pikachu, but the rest of the other cards, which there is one more card, there are actually 4 or 5 basic Pokemon inside there. I think it's the third generation or so. I forgot. I don't know. Anyway, those are the ones that if you won't get all of them unless you buy multiple of the getting a lot of multiple Happy Meals to actually get the cards. But each of the booster pack guarantee a Pikachu, so the quantity wise for Pikachu supposed to be higher than the rest of the secondary Pokemon card inside. So by right logic, those cards behind supposed to be more expensive than the Pikachu based on the quantities. But at the moment, because it's a hype, this Pikachu is very expensive. This Pikachu for Shibuya, it was for the Pokemon Center opening. I was lucky I saw this one. They're selling at 9,000, so I just bought it for a collection. So yeah, I would really like the one with the Pokemon Center. Promo cards is the one that I really like to buy. They're very attractive. So yeah, there you have it. That's all for today. So I'd like to thank you very much for you to stay and watch this video. If you do like, do give me a like, thumbs up, and if you like further videos or my short reels, do subscribe so you get notification and so forth. And if you have any questions or any kind of critiques or any suggestions, do write in and put in the comments, and I will try my best to get through that. But again, a disclaimer, I do this for fun. I do this use the YouTube as my diary of my collection, and I use it the space for so that I can remember it. I can just go to YouTube and watch what I have at that moment of time. So it's a one way of creating journals in using YouTube. The other way is also inspire people to see my collection so they can get inspired to collect banknotes and numismatic and so forth, including trading cards. It's now a very lucrative investment position, So thank you once again. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.